After months of anticipation and set leaks, we got our first official poster for James Gunn Superman, then we got a sound of the score, and finally the long-awaited Superman teaser trailer. So let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Cinemaze, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to see more videos like this. Now, as a channel, I tend to try to stay away from just straight up reviewing movies and trailers and try to find some other angle to talk about a new movie through, like comparing two multiverse movies when The Flash came out, or a Sinister Six video for when Venom 3 and Kraven came out, or my most popular videos, suit rankings. But there will be times where I feel so strongly, positive or negative, where I will just straight up review a movie or deep dive into a trailer. And this is one of those times. I'm a superhero guy. I like most superhero movies, DC or Marvel, but just take a look at my channel. It's no secret I'm predominantly a Marvel guy, a Spider-Man guy, an MCU guy. But I have not been this, I don't even think excited is the right word, engaged, intrigued, captivated by a superhero movie trailer in a long time. But let's rewind a second, because before this trailer, we got this poster. And it's a great first poster. It feels hopeful, it feels heroic, it feels colourful. There's clear comic influences here, particularly Alex Ross and Jock's American Alien. The suit looks good. It's a way better image than that initial first look we got for this version of Superman, and that first image always felt a bit weird. It also has that tagline, "Look up." Genius. On the surface, obviously, look up, he can fly, capturing that is it a bird, is it a plane, and you'll believe a man can fly type feeling. But there's also deeper connotations here of hopefulness, having someone to look up to, and maybe even religious context with people associating looking up with heaven and God. And then we got to hear some music, which I assume is from the film itself, and it has some Man of Steel Hans Zimmer quality to it, but also more clearly John Williams Superman score. And then in the trailer itself, we get different music, which is a more rocky version of the classic Williams score. And I'm not quite sure how to feel. On one hand, it's an incredible score. Just hearing it evokes emotions of truth, hope, and justice, all those things you want to associate with Superman. It's a powerful score, and it is deeply tied to Superman. Why wouldn't we use it more often? James Bond keeps his theme between different actors and reboots. It seems like the Harry Potter series will keep the Harry Potter theme from the original set of movies. Why shouldn't Superman do the same? On the other hand, both the 78 film and Man of Steel have very unique, powerful scores. They're both great. Shouldn't this be a chance to add another new Superman theme to that list? Establish a new tone and identity for this version of the character. I can see both sides, and it's one that I can't work out where I stand until I see the full film and how the theme is used and what the rest of the score sounds like. But yeah, on to the rest of the trailer. So this was a teaser trailer. It doesn't give much away about the story or the characters. Instead, it's about establishing the tone and the world. This is clearly a brighter world than the Snyderverse. I've seen some criticisms of the color grading. I kind of like it. There's a real contrast between the down-to-earth normal person scenes with this kind of oversaturated iPhone TV type feeling and the much wider cinematic shots for the superhero parts. And I love that. It differentiates Clark Kent's double life, not just through his appearance, but through the camera. The movie looks bright, which is great. Color in a Superman film. That's a good thing. And I think that is what will set this Superman apart from the other heroes of this world. We know there's a darker side to this universe with projects like Creature Commandos, Clayface, Swamp Thing, and we know there's more corporate feeling set of heroes with Gardner, Hawkgirl, etc. But Superman will be this beacon of light that breaks away from that darkness and the corporate superheroes and bring about the more classic feeling of the Justice League. In this world, he's not the first superhero, but he's the first traditional superhero, a hero standing for something, and I love that. The best shot of the trailer is Superman saving a girl and seeing a boy putting up a Superman flag. They're establishing this is a version of Superman for hope and for the people. There's a lot of action here which feels intentional to both counter the complaint about a lack of action in Superman Returns and to try to live up to the great action in Man of Steel. But there's also an emphasis on Clark's relationship with Lois. There's multiple shots here with Lois and Clark. Usually you'd expect a trailer to end on a bit of an action shot or a tease, but this trailer ends with a shot of those two together. And so I think there will be an emphasis on their love story and they will be the heart of the film. I like the look of Metropolis here. It feels modern and real, but with a distinct style, this more Art Deco type feeling for older buildings like the Daily Planet, and it reminds me of Superman the animated series. But this trailer shows there is a darker side to this movie. This was implied in that first look we had, but the trailer opens with a beat up Superman, and that is genius. The most common complaint about Superman is that he's too powerful, he's indestructible, and that makes him not relatable. Our first ever shot of this version of Superman is him beat up and vulnerable. It seems like it's taking criticisms on board and addressing this. Immediately, this feels different from what we had before, what we expect from Superman, and this brings us in. We also see crowds turning against him. That feels very similar to stuff we saw in Batman v Superman, and I assume the message here will be that Superman doesn't give up, he doesn't give in, he always gets back up, and he fights for what's right, even if people don't believe in him. Lex Luthor looked great. It's nice to finally have a Lex Luthor who looks like Lex Luthor, and I'm sure Nicholas Hoult will be great in this role because he's one of the best working actors today. Guy Gardner also looks great. I love that they captured his dorky haircut, although I do wish it was a bit more ginger. We always lose ginger characters in superhero films unless they're villains. Metamorpho looks slightly different than I was expecting, but you can see he does have the different colouring down his body, so it's mainly his face that is a bit different than I was expecting. And of course, Krypto the Superdog. What a good boy. I can't believe we have a Superman trailer that opens with Krypto. That is something I never thought we would see. They are fully embracing the comic bookiness. I didn't know how they would use Krypto in this film. I didn't know he'd be more like a jokey character who appears for one scene, but the fact that the trailer opens with this, I think is telling to the type of movie we're getting, and that he might have a more substantial role. I remember watching Krypto the Superdog cartoon when I was young, so he's always been a character I've known about, and he's existed in the comics for almost 70 years, but I can imagine some people will find this weird. And that's my biggest question about this movie. This feels like a movie for comic fans. Other Justice League members, giant kaijus, Krypto the Superdog? I think comic fans will love this, and they will get this, but how will audiences connect to this? That will be interesting to see, and the whole DC universe really rests on that. So hopefully this more comic booky take can be accepted, because we haven't had a Superman who has been fully accepted into the zeitgeist since 1978, and hopefully this one can do that. It can win us over, the nerds who are in the superhero bubble who watch videos like this online, but will it win over your dad who only likes gritty Batman, or your aunt who hasn't watched a Superman film since Christopher Reeve? And it may be those more cartoony elements that stop people fully connecting with this film. We'll have to wait and see. This was a teaser trailer designed to show us the brighter, hopeful tone and a more vulnerable yet optimistic Superman. Show us this is a lived-in world with other heroes where Superman stands out, and it does that perfectly. Teaser trailers should establish the feeling and setting of a film. Sure, you can analyze a trailer and piece together things, but we don't get much story or character, and that's fine for a teaser. This trailer won me over on the world and the tone. The next trailer, they need to win us over on the new version of Superman. Sure, visually he looks and feels like Superman here, but we need to feel it from his speech and his actions. Show us why this new version is Superman. But overall from me, man, this trailer worked. It felt like Superman, and we need that because it's been missing. It felt like a world I want to know more about and spend more time in. It feels unique and it feels full of potential. It doesn't feel like the MCU, and it also doesn't feel like the DCEU, and it doesn't really feel like James Gunn in the way Guardian, Suicide Squad and Creature Commandos all have a similar feeling. I'm super excited for this movie. I hope it ends up as good as this trailer, and despite being an MCU guy and some promising MCU projects next year, this may now be my most anticipated movie of 2025, and it feels like Superman is back. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the trailer in the comments below. Are you excited for this film, or does it make you worried? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It helps my channel out so much. And if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this on DC, Marvel, or anything else amazing going on in cinema. But for now, thanks for watching Cinemaze.